Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we're going to talk about the Cloak of Infinite Power and basically get like a really solid idea of what everything entails about it. Now it's not a very complex concept, but I wanted to touch on all of it. So let's talk first about threads of time. Threads of time are what you use to upgrade the cloak. Each thread of time will give you individual stats for the cloak. This will scale with your level. So threads of time come from mobs, they come from quests, they come from dungeons, they come from pretty much everything that you do. So you don't need to worry, all sources will pretty much drop threads of time. So don't panic too much, any kind of content you play in Mr. Pandaria Remix will give you threads of time. Now threads of time affect certain stats. So threads of time affect all of your secondary stats, those being mastery, versatility, haste, leech, speed, etc. They also affect your main stats. So they have the ability to affect your primary stat. This will change depending on what class you are. And then they also obviously have the ability to affect your raw bonus stats like experience. The only stat that isn't affected by the threads of fate is armor, I believe, and it will scale with your level. So early on you'll be earning 1 point towards your stats, whereas later on between level 30 and 49 you will get 3 stats per thread. Then you will get between 50 and 64 7 stats per thread, and then from 65 onwards you'll be gaining around 12 stats per thread. So you can see it will scale up as you go along with most things in Mr. Pandaria Remix. So obviously let's talk upgrading the cloak. So the cloak does have its own item level. You don't upgrade the cloak's item level at the upgrader. The cloak's item level will upgrade according to your baseline level. Okay, so they'll upgrade according to your baseline level to give you more armor. But this will not upgrade the stats you have. Those stats are only obtained by collecting the threads of time. The cloak itself will max out at a item level of 346. But again, that's just the armor value. That has nothing to do with the raw stats that the cape provides, as that's dependent on how many threads of time you've collected, not dependent on the object's item level in any way, shape or form. Now beyond that, obviously your next concern will be the achievements. So what is with the achievements? Well, the achievements do two things. Firstly, the achievements are connected to the amount of threads that you collect on a singular character. Right, once you surpass a certain number of threads, you will then gain a bonus for other characters that play the Mr. Pandaria Remix. How this works is pretty simple. If I get the achievement for passing 100 threads, then when I spawn or create a new character, that character will spawn in once they complete their intro with a cape that has 100 threads on it, and then they will be able to proceed onwards from there. The stat distribution will be randomized, and the more threads you gain, the higher the bonuses those characters will start with. Once you've obtained 4,200 threads, you will then get the ability to get cosmetic items, which will give you the rotating appearances of the original legendary cloaks from the legendary cloak questline in the Mr. Pandaria. So you will get these toys that will allow you to cycle through those appearances. Now you won't be able to see the toys here because they're only obtainable once you complete the achievements, and you can't see them in the unobtainable list. But you'll get one for each of the specs so that you can obviously cycle through whichever appearance you feel is best suited towards yourself. Aside from that as well, of course, giving your characters a really nice boost will speed them up and make content a lot easier in Mr. Pandaria. So picking up threads of fate is going to be the #1 priority. Now farming them and prioritizing them is a bit different. We'll talk about that in a separate video once I have a very concrete method on which to farm, but you cannot control what kind of threads you're going to get. You're going to get threads largely based on randomized stats. So because of that, you don't have a lot of control over it. so I wouldn't panic too much about trying to prioritize certain stats, and just rather complete as much content as you can to get the threads. Quests are going to be your best start in the beginning, followed then by raids and dungeons. But yeah, that's basically it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any more questions about the Cape of Infinite Potential. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.